Welcome to Mackay Indoor Sports Arena. This is just a quick little tutorial on how to use our player forms and our login screen. You'll find your player form on a folder sitting on the counter with all the others, with a bag and a pen for the money and for you to tick off. With the player forms themselves, you'll find your team name, the price of the games. You'll need to actually list all your players here, as well as their email addresses and their phone numbers. We also have student prices here, so what you need to do is, if Thor, for example, was a student, you need to asterisk next to Thor. Our staff will then highlight Thor's name once they've verified that they're a student, and then you'll charge student prices for whenever they play. You also need to just simply tick off who's played as well as how much they've paid. So it's up to you as a team how you work that out. You can then, once you've done all that, enter those details. At the very bottom you can then have a tally, so that way when the staff put it in, it's just a double check to make sure there's no accounting errors that have occurred. On the back of the form, you'll find your past games as well as your future games all there, as well as a tally of all your scores and the ladder. You'll also find here the day and the date of the grand final, so you can keep that in mind for players who are qualified. We also have the touch screen here to log in for your players each night. This is what we use for our qualifications. Most seasons we have to have players have played for 4 games in the entire season. The Avengers, so we tick who's been playing or who's playing that night. Simple as that. Now Black Widow, when we tick her details aren't in there, so she doesn't have an email address or mobile, so we need to put one in there. It's always best to put an email address, but if you don't know it to begin with, you can just put in their number. And then it's as simple as that. That's all you have to do, and then you can tick it off. And then you press done. We also have on the left-hand side of the login screen is the schedule for the next week. So all you have to do is look for your team name, and then you just sign next to it stating that you saw your game time the following week for the next week. And that's as simple as that for logging in and using the player registration sheets at the Mackay Indoor Sports Arena. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask one of our friendly staff behind the counter.